This is more about living in the time of the coronavirus epidemic, and it's set back in the summer of this year, 2021. That would be the year 1 CE still. Our grocery requires unvaccinated people to wear a mask. It encourages vaccinated people to do so. We don't. The urban school systems will all require masks. Students in those schools that had virtual learning last year have yet to take their proficiency exams. My estimation is that nearly all of them learned nothing during that year. They will fail that exam. The schools will find a way to pass them anyway. What do they call it? Social promotion? I call it a disaster. Education has become another national disgrace. The fear that people feel when they sense that the suspension of rent payment may be over is the fear slaves feel when they are told they may be freed. As convicts come to prefer incarceration, so slaves are frightened by the prospect of freedom and look for rescue in the safety provided by slavery. It's not such a bad deal, after all. You give up an intangible, your freedom, and everything else is provided for you, all the comforts. In our case, the PM is a nearly saintly master. He gives slavery a good name: welfare. Besides the terrible plague of inflation undercutting the value of our currency every day, there is also another bubble about to burst. I see it all the time on television. Constant ads say they can jack up your poor credit rating, no trouble at all. Also, ads for cars. They say your credit rating doesn't matter. Come in and we will put you in a new car. The same goes for housing, the root cause of the last recession. People living in houses they cannot afford. Instead of heeding that warning, people are scurrying to do it all over again, even bigger this time. Don't the experts see this? They do, but they think they will not be claimed by the wreckage. They think they will sail on unscathed. In this, they are deluded. They will sink with all the rest. Inflation affects everyone. No one is safe for it, not even if you wear a mask. I think Samuel Beckett wrote and insisted that a difference that makes no difference makes no difference. Of course, it is easy to say that none of our lives amount to any difference. But to those who, despite the overwhelming evidence, refuse to believe this, from them comes all art, even Beckett's, as well as athletic achievement. So I see humans run and jump and throw heavy weights in the Olympics as if it makes all the difference in the world. They believe, and it's impressive. Being an Olympic champion matters to them. Romantics believe it makes a difference, as in It's a Wonderful Life. I just read a sentence, and I have to write it down because I think it pertains, even though it was written decades ago. Here it is. In an elite culture in which failure signifies injustice, the pleasures and contingencies of commerce cannot be defended, nor can any point upon which radicals and snobs agree be seriously contested. I will repeat that. In an elite culture in which failure signifies injustice, the pleasures and contingencies of commerce cannot be defended, nor can any point upon which radicals and snobs agree be seriously contested. The field mouse held his first coronavirus conference in a few months today. His basic message, made along with a doctor, was that if you have not been vaccinated, first, you have that right, and second, you must be out of your mind. He said we live in two states now, those who have been vaccinated and those who have not. He said that 98.4% of the people who have contracted the virus have not been vaccinated. He also said that there would be no state-mandated restrictions. That was up to localities. He wants to be governor again, so he's dancing the old soft shoe. For instance, local hospitals are requiring masks be worn by everyone. Many schools are calling for masks. This infuriates those who oppose to it, who say that kids wear the wrong masks improperly, and they fiddle with them all day long, and that this does more harm than good. Add to that the social drawbacks to the masks, and that fuels their anger. You hear all kinds of stories in a flurry of contradiction. A woman said her son, age 30, got COVID, was very sick, bedridden for 2 weeks, no hospital, then he recovered, got a vaccine, went to Las Vegas for a bachelor party, and got COVID again, tested positive. He asked doctors, how could this be? And they said, it happens. We don't know why. In Texas, an official who boasted about not getting the shot got the virus and died. The FDA said that it is rushing to approve the vaccines, not just for emergency use, as is now the case. People against it say, please, don't hurry. We don't care. We're not going to get it anyway, and we don't believe in your so-called science. Fancy Bulldozy is now plugging for a bill that would provide trillions for what she calls human infrastructure. She says she will not allow the other infrastructure bill to pass until this human infrastructure one passes. Human infrastructure. Hip, hip, hooray! And while you're at it, don't forget to defund the police and reimagine social justice.